Okay. All right. So, Leo, that's you over here. This is Terra Illumination, and this is your general report for January 2018. It's that time of year. It's the new year, and it's a big shift and change in energy for everybody, including you, Leo. So, just do the basics first. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. Some of you have done this before, but I got to get the basics in line for the new people. And the other drill, of course, is you watch for your sun, moon, and rising because it seems to work. So go for it. And recalibrate, reinterpret the whole story to suit you. You can do that. Okay. You have good imagination, Leo. So use your creativity and get everything that you can out of this little reading. Also, cards were well shuffled in advance. I think I told you that earlier. Maybe I didn't, but anyway, no reversals. Okay, we're just going to keep it as a journey spread, like a journey through the month. We're going to put it in the shape of a heart with your pulsing heart core at the center. Just another thing, hold on. We've done this for every sign now. Might as well just keep the pattern going. So for you, Leah, this is a big thing. This in January, we've got this big deal thing going on. A couple of big full moons and a massive new moon right in the middle. I'm just going to show you, okay? New moon, January 16th to 17th, roughly around there, 2018. And it's in Capricorn over here. And we have Venus, Sun, Moon, Pluto, Mercury, and Saturn all piled up over here in Capricorn. That's an enormous cluster of planets all in one spot. So it's going to impact your life. You're going to feel it. New starts, new beginnings in that Capricorn energy. So it's very serious. And it's for you, Leo, in your sixth house. Okay, so you might feel it in your workplace, your work habits, your daily habits, your daily routines, your health. You could feel it in like the tasks that you do, the service that you put out there into the world. Sixth house energy is like corresponds to Virgo energy about service to the planet, dutiful service, just doing the work, not expecting any great accolades or rewards or anything, but it's still about that and very much about purification, rectification, cleansing, purifying, tidying up, cleaning up, cleaning up, cleaning up. And it's work, okay? But you've got a lot of support there because it's Capricorn energy and it's getting you ready for in a few years from now when Saturn goes into Aquarius, your relationships. Okay, so this is a big deal. This is like a big preparation for the next 3 years, and it's starting here in January 2018. Big new beginnings in that part of your life, like a big cleanup campaign. Okay. Anyway, I don't mean to scare you. Sorry. I got a bit carried away. Sorry. So. We're going to do this. All right, we're going to do this, Leo, just like we do with all the other reports. And thank you for choosing Terra Illumination. Let's get on with it. Cards are well shuffled now, and we are just going to go for it. Okay, give me a second. I need to clear. Okay. Whoa. All right. This is your heart. Leo, that's you anyway. Big, fat, glowing heart energy. Pulsing, pulsing away, beat by beat. Heart knows what it needs, what it wants, what it is. You might not have any language for it in your conscious self. Over here is legacy energy, history, baggage, leftovers, karmic residue. I don't know, maybe all the stresses of the last few years. It's been tough for everybody. You're not immune, but you're coming in with something, okay? And this is the ever present now as you are moving through this thing that we call time, called January 2018, where we have an awareness of the past and a perception of the future. So that's that. And it's in the moment, it's in the now where you make your decisions, where you own your power, okay? And it's the healing power of decisions, okay? by being willing to be brave, which you are anyway, Leo. That's where you own your power. You make your decisions in the now. And of course, there's always risk, always reward. We'll feel that over here in this card. So the question is, how do you make loving decisions that are best for you, because that's what's best for everyone else? This is not arrogance or defiance or, uh, let's say, egomania or narcissism. This is just good, loving self love, okay? Human beings are not typically taught self love. So if you believe that life happens to you and you just react, then this will be feeling like fate. If you are very actively involved in your own evolution, making conscious, deliberate decisions, this will feel more like a consequence. Okay. And over here, this is the energy of like, what if? Because when you're making your decisions, your body feels that risk reward, risk reward. What if I mess up? What if I make a good decision? Either way, something's going to happen. And that's this energy here. What if I mess up? What if I make a good decision? And also, these are the prospects. This is kind of where things go, where the momentum lies. Okay. Under here, in a moment, we're going to look at the weather, circumstantial energy that permeates the whole thing. And like everyone else, Leo, you're a smart person and you're going to make the best of the weather, no matter what it is. And you have the death card. So don't be scared. This is about fundamental, deep, deep transformation. At the highest level, you could even say it's something to do with Jupiter and Scorpio right now. Maybe you're feeling that deep in your life somewhere. You know, it's still there. We didn't talk about it much in these readings. But for you, Leo, that would be over here in the foundations of your life. Okay, the fourth house. There's Leo. And there's Scorpio energy. Jupiter is in Scorpio there right now with Mars. So there might be a lot of activity, disruption, conflict, or deep changes, turmoil, healing, all at the same time happening, you know, upheaval that's happening in the foundations of your life right now, Leo. And please don't take that grudgingly. Please see that ultimately at the highest level, circumstantial energy is all about what's best for you right now is transformational energy healing at the highest level, which could mean a systematic surgical removal of anything and everything that's not healthy and working for you in your foundations, your home, your family, your safe place, and all of that. And that's happening simultaneously with all that Capricorn energy too, okay? So please be aware of this. If you're feeling, let's just say, okay, big changes, let's just say big transformation is happening, then yes, that's what's happening, okay? It might just be very vivid for you right now. You might be in the thick of it. It might not be comfortable, okay? Not a lot of people are comfortable with transformational energy healing, but the outcome is always good. What's about your heart energy? Okay, so deep in the heart of you, there's this like loving heart energy. This is, to me, it feels like good Leo energy, pulsing as Leo energy, wanting to get in touch with like the softer side of life, especially when it comes to love and relationships. Maybe there are things going on that have gone on in your life, in your world, where, you know, having lived through that Saturn and Sagittarius thing for years now, coming out the other side, you've learned a lot about I can't believe I'm doing this. Give me a second here. This is not an astrology channel, but there's something that's really tweaking me about the Leo thing right now. See, with Sagittarius over there, for the last couple of years, you might have been dealing with a lot of, let's say, romantic relationship issues or love issues, not necessarily marriage type or dating, but like love, like romantic love, passionate love. And it might have been challenging. You might have had some, because Saturn was there for years. And now you're coming out of it and you've learned a lot. And maybe the idea is you're left with this notion that I would like the real deal. My heart, Leo, is pulsing and wanting a true soulmate. I don't want like a fake this or a pretend that or someone who looks, I don't want eye candy. I don't want rich for the sake of rich. I want a true soulmate. Your heart wants a true soulmate. You deserve a true soulmate. You deserve soul love. perhaps someone from the past, someone who's in your life right now who might feel like a soulmate type energy, wanting that, deserving that, needing that, getting that. It's kind of what it's all about here at the moment. That's what I'm feeling, okay? And it might be happening in ways that are kind of awkward or uncomfortable because of this and because of the Capricorn energy as well, okay? In other words, the Jupiter and Scorpio thing and the Capricorn, Saturn and Capricorn thing and this massive new moon. So it might be, affecting your day-to-day habits in life about how does this actually happen? How do we bring in this kind of delicious soulmate energy into your world? That's what your heart wants, okay? What are you bringing in with you? Okay, well, at least you've got earned some credentials along the way in terms of power of manifestation. With the Magician card here, my feeling is that you've been through a lot in the last couple of years, especially with that Saturn and Sagittarius transit, and now coming into the Jupiter and Scorpio thing, where you might have learned things the hard way about what it really, really takes to like be you, the real you, where it is about harnessing your power, coming to a full understanding of all your talents and gifts and resources, and then putting them to good use in a way that, works, in a way that actually works. And you've got it, you've kind of got the grasp of it up to a certain level. I'm not sure if I'm feeling mastery here, but it's definitely you've got the desire to make the good stuff happen, the will to make things happen, and the ability to make things happen. This can also be a little bit over the top in terms of expression too, because it might be you're yearning so much. Sometimes we want so much that we get consumed with the wanting as opposed to being open, ready, willing, and able to accept through receiving. So, in other words, it's very easy to get carried away with one's own power here and thinking that that is the source, thinking like you are the source of power, as opposed to understanding that you are more of a transceiver where you receive energy in the form of the healing power of love and you transmit energy in form of the healing power of love. And it becomes much more about being an instrument here. Okay. So you might be like jostling and understanding, trying to figure out what it is between the Leo person as opposed to the Leo soul, and bringing everything to the point where your abilities to manifest are very much, let's say, being called into play here. And you know that, and you want that, and you deserve that. You want to make it happen in a way that's best for you and for everybody. It may be just a bit of a challenge right now. That's all I'm saying. So in the present, we have the Knight of Cups here. So it might indicate here that you've been through a lot in terms of battles when it comes to the romantic side of life. This is not a love and relationship reading, by the way. Even though we've got all these cups here and this big knight here, let's just try and keep it to energy. I hope you don't mind. There's going to be another playlist for love and relationships anyway. But the whole idea is, you see, with all this cup energy here, 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 and here, my feeling is that it's like you kind of want to get out of the front lines and the battlefields of love and romance and want to come back to figuring out what works. How do you make it work in peacetime? In other words, some people get so wrapped up in their problems and their situations that becomes their whole life. And then once you've figured things out and you realize, well, what do we do now? Because there's no way that you can avoid the big changes that are going to happen, the new beginnings that are starting. So the question is, what are we going to do with all that energy, all this massive like Leo energy here coming in? Because you might be, like when soldiers come home from war, they're like this, and then they're being asked to just like, hey, chill, man, chill, man, chill, man. It's okay. You're home, you're safe, but you're all fired up and powered up. You want the love, you deserve the love, but if you're still primed and ready for battle and challenges, and you're feeling like I just can't do that and be that anymore, and in your spirit and your heart and your soul, I want to get away from the battlefields. I want to come back home. I want to enjoy the love. I'm bringing the love. I deserve to receive the love. I'm not sure if I'm an expert at this yet. I know I've got the skills and the power if I figure out what to do and how to do it. But I just want that to happen. I deserve this to happen. I deserve this to happen. And I'm willing to make it happen. So when you're making decisions, we're dealing with, okay, new starts. So let's just go straight back. Gosh, I keep pulling out this chart for you guys. Let's just go straight back to here, this doodle again. It's fresh starts, okay? You see over here in your practices, your habits, your approaches, the way you do stuff, the way you live your life. When you're making decisions, it's on the understanding that you're being given a chance for a complete reboot, a complete like a new beginning here, especially towards the middle and the end of January, where with the Judgment card here, I feel it's very much to do with the January new moon, where it's about like a real breakout time for you, Leo, where you realize, my gosh, this really is my chance. So let's just say for the first couple of weeks of the month, it's much more about this energy here, like the cutting away and the ripping away of things that are no longer appropriate for you, removing yourself from the battlefronts, taking yourself away from like full power engagement in what you think is life, and then taking the energy, toning it down a bit, and bringing it back down to earth, starting with the January new moon, in terms of more, let's say, tangible, understandable ways about what works for you in a very healthy way. What's the most healthy way for you to make decisions now? What is the healthiest thing for you to do now for you, Leo, so that you can become more and more in alignment, use all your power and skills to manifest, but in a way that works much more towards like what the heart needs and heart wants, as opposed to the ego drive of what's good for Leo. What about your heart? Okay, deep inside of you, and you get a chance to restart because you might have been through all sorts of battles and challenges recently. Now we're starting again, but purifying, refining, cleansing, in a very systematic, let's say, Virgo type way, very orderly ways of recalibrating your life, your habits, your practices, to make your life healthier and happier, and have a new start where it doesn't matter about all the carnage and the wars that you might have left behind, and it doesn't matter whether you haven't yet achieved full mastery in how to exercise your power, but you still have very good intentions. You're getting the chance right now, starting with a long-term plan here, starting in the middle of January. Everything that's not working here is going away because it doesn't need to be there anymore. And you get to start again, fresh new practices, fresh new habits, and you are forgiven in everything that you've screwed up, and others forgive you for everything that you screwed up with them. Okay, so it's like, okay, it's like declaring bankruptcy. It's okay, you're free, you're clear to go. Don't mess up again. Okay, yes, there were losses. Okay, yes, we made mistakes, but start again, making decisions on the understanding that there's so much power in your decisions, especially when you have the freedom to make new starts, having been forgiven and having forgiven others. So moving forward, making the decisions that work for you. How do you do that effectively? Well, what you do is you take, let's say, in a very Virgoan, studious, very methodical way, each time you make a decision, even if it's just a little tiny one, like what am I going to get from my groceries this week? Instead of just doing things on autopilot, really think about it. What exactly you're going to get? What is the healthiest thing for you? Same thing with your love life, your work life, your family, your home, your relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, children's, jobs. All these practices and habits that have been on autopilot for a very long time now need to be very clearly examined in a very Virgoan practical kind of way, using very solid Capricorn managerial approaches to discover how you have, let's say, come to a point in decision making where whatever is not working in your abilities to manifest is due to errors and let's say dysfunctions deep in the pit of you that need to be exposed. In other words, we're talking about removing obstacles to your ability to make the most loving, healthy decisions for you. We're not just saying just charge and make the bold decision. We're saying make the decisions having done the homework on figuring it out. What is it that was, what constituted the obstacles to healthy decisions? How are all these misperceptions, mistakes, attitude adjustments, grievances by others towards you, pain you've inflicted on others, erroneous behaviors, all sorts of damage, wounds, pain, and suffering that have been collected for so long up to this new chapter in your life where you can come to stark awareness that you have been the cause of your own undoing, and this needs to stop by your decisions, knowing that you are forgiven, from the damage you've brought to others and from the damage that others have brought to you. Being very clear, aware of that in your full consciousness. Where does it take us? Okay, love, a chance to love like never before in the most pure and powerful sense, literally like decision by decision, saying, I accept the healing power of love into my life. I want the healing power of love into my life. I ask for the healing power of love into my life. So on. So that's a consequence. And you do that by conscious decisions, okay? And that's what happens. Instead of functioning on autopilot and making decisions on autopilot, you take very clear assessment about what are the obstacles that, let's say, detract from healthy decision making. And then each time you remove one of those obstacles, you realize this gets better and better and better and better and better. And this is always an opportunity. It's happening. This is happening and arriving because you deserve it. Okay. And what happens if you screw up on your decisions? What happens if you make a good decision? If you mess up on your decisions, you end up impoverished. Impoverishing yourself, impoverishing others in very tangible ways. If you make really good decisions, then you, let's say, eradicate impoverishment of the heart and soul, and you walk farther and farther away from this type of impoverishment that might have been what you were feeling through that Saturn period in Sagittarius. Okay, so this would be over. Where does this take you? Okay, to happiness. It's like a formula. What we're talking about here, Leo, is essentially a formula. So with the 10 of Cups here, in other words, it's very simple. It's so simple. The healing power of decisions, the healing power of your decisions, and how you make decisions in a very refined, logical, methodical manner, where you always tap into what is the most loving energy. What is it that I deserve in terms of love? What is it that I deserve to bring to others in terms of love when I make these decisions, so that it ultimately works for me, Leo? You deserve to be happy like everyone else. So you make that happen. Okay, decision by tiny decision, by removing obstacles to what amounts to a good decision. A good decision means the eradication of this and the appearance of this. Classic having it all type of happiness. Friends, family, loved one, children, all the good things that feel really, really good. Making a poor decision where you allow yourself to be influenced by this mess here, then the opportunity to allow the healing power of love to flow into your life. So you end up with this, and then this disappears. See, it's a formula. It's a simple, simple formula. Be loving, be loved. Love you first, okay? Love yourself. Love yourself very, very deeply. Be willing to forgive and forget. Forgive yourself and forget all your errors to yourself. Forgive others and forget all their errors to you, and move on accordingly. Anytime you sense an impediment to your decision making, be very aware, identify what it is, and then cleanse it and refine it. And then you get back to all of this goody stuff. Okay, I've said enough, more than enough. You can figure it out from here, okay? You're very smart, Leo. And let's just make this cute. Can you see that? I'm hoping there's the U at the core. And this is the heart shape here. I hope you can see that. And this is like the journey through January. Okay? Thank you so much. All the best and Happy New Year, I guess. I guess it's appropriate to say that. Bye bye, Leo.